have I sat in this church mourning, thinking about how things have come to pass. I gave warning to the Capulets and the Montagues that their lives would be the price. They would not stop their feuding. Yet, how could I prophesize the tragedy of this feud's end? Young Romeo and fair Juliet bore the brunt of their family's old grudge, and my own kinsman Mercutio has since met his sad end as a result of their hatred. Two houses both suffered a loss of race of men. I may be the prince of glorious Verona, but it is not the first time I might wish I was not. The burden of duty rests heavily upon my shoulders.
Prince, thou art still here? Good Mercutio's funeral ended this half hour past.
But a mere while I am allowed to drop the mantle of ruler. Then must I take it up again. Solitude becomes a forgotten luxury.
I'm well aware, Father. My presence is required elsewhere, and so now I take my leave.
Nay, say, I meant not to cast thee from here.
We do extend our condolences for the passing of thy kinsman. Know that sanctuary can always be sought within this hall's bounds.
I sought, and found what hopes.
I thank thee all, but alas, I must depart. What sound is this?
The bells, they have oft run throughout Verona for the many sad deaths this past fortnight. The final funeral has reached its end.
I knew a Mercutio. A right jester he was, always teasing. His tales were oft long and full of fantasy.
Did thee know him? I'm glad.
Aye, the repute of his wit was well known. Know you of when he spoke to Romeo of dreams?
Said he, I see Queen Mab hath been with you. She is the fairy's midwife, and she comes in the shape no bigger than an agate stone, on the forefinger of an alderman, drawn with a team of little atomies athwart men's noses as they lie asleep, and in state she gallops night by night through lovers' brains, and then they dream of love.
Nay, I knew it not.
'Tis true, I assure thee.
How come thee by this knowledge?
It is as I have said. I knew of Mercutio.
Passing strange was that encounter. I wonder how that monk knew of my kinsman. So glad was I to hear good words spoken of Mercutio. Why does it lift my heavy heart?
Pardon an intrusion, Prince. Some callers lack for an audience.
Aye, send them in. It will do me good, I think, to take my thoughts off such tragedy.
It is indeed sometimes said, sir, that hard work is balm to the soul. Violent delights have violent ends, and moderation in grief, as in love, is best.
Wise words are these, and worthy of taking to heart. I thank thee, man.
Good evening, Prince.
Aye, good evening. What sight is this? Does grief have such powers to conjure a face much missed?
Thou recognizest this ghostly visage? Then listen, Prince, for I am indeed Mercutio.
My ears, my eyes, deceive a grief out of mine, for Mercutio's funeral ended but half this month past.
Prince, I admonish thee, listen, listen. I am Mercutio, and from thine own house.
Sounds, so it is. Yet but a moment ago at the door thou wert a monk.
Aye, so seemed I. And thou, sir, should not cry out so, when thine own countenance remains so disguised. Come, Romeo, do not take me for a fool, knave.
I have been found out. I thought to comfort thee from the safety of darkness, but that is not to be. I, in my waking life, my name was Romeo. Thy needless death drags heavily upon me, and I cannot move on to the next life without trying to appease thee.
Can this be? Two ghosts conversed here in my own chambers? Surely I think I had too much to drink if I but had any this night.
All the world's a waking dream, Prince, or a stage, and all the men and women merely players. Why then question what is real and what not?
Thy point is a fair one. However, I am yet to be befuddled. In truth, I cannot say I am not. But surely it must be a blessing to see recently dearly departed once more.
Nay, say it not, Prince, for were I content, I would not be here still. Were it not for you, mayhap I would have won that thought with the villainous Capulet, and yet still be able to walk about earth as a living man.
Ghostly storyteller, do confess thy grievances in full, so the pus-filled boils of anger may be lanced, and thy otherworldly humors might come again into balance.
Aye, to do as they advise is best. Say what thou must say, and release thy woes.
As thou wills it, Prince. Benvolio, Romeo's blackguardly cousin, and I strode along the streets of Verona. Who dare show his face but that villainous Tybalt?
Where is Romeo? Demanded Tybalt. Tell me whither I'll find him, that he may face justice at my hand, for which slight I myself knew not. It was of no consequence, for he a Capulet and I a Montague, for fate bound to cross swords. We were newly drawn when Romeo approached. He could not duel with Tybalt, claiming some unnatural affection for the Capulet house.
Oh, calm, dishonorable, foul submission, I expect.
We fought. Ere either blade could draw blood, Romeo stepped between us. For this I blame thee. Tybalt the rogue reached neath Romeo's arm to give me a mortal hurt. Again I ask Romeo, why?
Craven turncoat, I cry now. Thou art a villainous wretch, that thy cowardice led to my death. A plague on both your houses.
I said to thee once, dear friend, and I say it again, with more feelings than ever, I meant for the best.
Thy meaning and thy words matter not, only the result.
If actions are thy coin, and thy weight upon thy scale, then I hope this doth raise much. Mere moments after thy death, I avenge thee upon Tybalt.
And he would have perished for such a deed, so saith the law, if I had not had enough of debt. His rash hand laid the price upon Tybalt that I would have similarly laid. Hence banishment in death's stead was to be his doom.
And I might wish that thou had not stayed thy hand and so given me death, not seeming mercy.
Thou hast overweening passion, and thought for aught else, much less others' fates.
Lessons gone unlearned in life may yet be taught in death, else the next repeats the mistakes of the first.
It is true, Mercutio. I am sorry for thy death and my annoying hand in it.
Hot-blooded anger, too, is a passion of flame with much motion. Far is it from the middle way, and it causes much misery.
So say thee. What use begs this me throw away righteous anger?
Nay, do not be so quick to call thyself righteous. If thou wilt not lay down thy anger, it ought be aimed at the men who hurt thee, not at the men who called out your name, cried over your newly fallen corpse, and gave thee vengeance.
This must need be true, for your well-spoken words ring of it. And yet still I doubt thy loyalty. Words matter not for the evidence, better the deed for the proving.
What would thou have of me? But name it, and I shall do it.
Nay, ghost, the time for thine hands to do work in this mortal realm is past.
Mercutio, I vouch for this man, and proclaim his words to be true and sincere. Do my words mean so little to thee, kinsman?
Never, Prince. If this tale is true, if thine own hand avenged my death, then mayhap I made too much haste. Rage clouded over my thoughts and distorted my sight. Much like the heat shimmers a castle into existence whenever one existed. So believe it I, when I created a traitor of thee.
In faith, Mercutio, I am happy to hear of thy changed heart. News such as this carries my heavy heart out of the heavy shroud of guilt and sorrow.
Forgiveness grants each party enduring blooms of peace, even when death already wraps its thorn vines around one's headstone. And thus the tale of these two friends, by fate's whim wracked, resolves as they in death achieve their farewell act.